Hello and welcome to the business of being a virtual assistant. We're back. I'm Tiffany Parson, your host. And if you're joining the podcast for the very first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm guessing that you're here because you have a virtual assistant business or you want to start a virtual assistant business. So welcome to the podcast. If you are watching anywhere, the video is hello, hello. You will see my eyes go off to my right. And that's where my notes are, making sure that I don't miss a beat. Now, before I even hop into the notes, let me tell you, I got some stuff on my mind. I want to talk about that first and then get into our topic. It's going to be quick. It's not going to be long. I want to set my timer just to make sure that I don't drag it out too far, right? So anyway, it's a whole lot of stuff going on in the world, y'all. I don't have to tell you. It doesn't matter where you live in the world. It's a whole lot of craziness going on in the world. And who knows what business is going to look like a year from now, right? We don't know. I was listening to a Sunday message yesterday, and the pastor was mentioning, about all the things going on with vaccines and masks and this and that, and just, oh, y'all, we live in an evil, evil world. And if you are a Christian, it is time to get our prayer life up. It is time to get into our word, reading our Bible, talking to God, seeking his face, seeing what's going on so that we can stand tall and not be fearful or weary about what's to come. So we can actually prepare, for what's to come. And so in the message, he was saying about how they are, starting to censor the internet. People that are speaking truth are being blocked or banned from different, social media, YouTube, different places online. And he's like, the next thing is that the internet gets shut down. And so he is not the first person in the Christian community that I've heard say that. So how do we, as virtual assistant business owners, even prepare for something like that? And to be honest, I don't know yet. I'm seeking answers now. And what I find, I'll bring back to you. But that is what is, on my mind. I am not so worried because we're not supposed to worry. I am trusting the Lord that he will provide answers in what we do, right? We depend heavily on the internet. I tried to think back to when there was no internet. And it's hard to even remember pre-internet. And and I'm thinking, okay, if the internet is supposed to shut down, does that mean just social media or the whole thing? And it's like everything depending on the internet. Things we don't even think about is dependent on the internet. Our banking, our banking is dependent on the internet. So many things are dependent on the internet, right? All right. So anyway, I don't know. More I get answers, I'll bring that back to you. But what this tells me is that right now, that means, y'all, it's time for us to go like we have never gone before. It is time for us to swim. It's time for us to ride the wave. We don't know how long this is going to be, like never before. It's time to step out and look crazy, right? What does looking crazy mean? It means to all the people that you've been concerned about, their thoughts and opinions. Yeah, I'm looking crazy. Yeah, I posted that. Yes, I'm seeking new clients. Yes, I'm marketing myself online. I'm doing all these things, online, offline, everywhere. Don't care anymore. because the clock is ticking on how we do things. The clock is ticking. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I do know the clock is ticking. And if the clock is ticking, let's run like crazy and do all the things that we've been hesitant to do. It's time to move. Time to move. Having said that, we need to be prepared for the new clients that are coming, who are also running their race like never before and realizing, hey, I can't do this by myself. I need someone. I need some two. I need some three. I need a team. Here we are, right? So what are 3 things to remember when working with new clients? That's our topic for today's podcast episode. It's 3 things to remember when working with new clients. The first thing, real easy. You might think, duh. Okay, number 1, and these aren't in any particular order. Number 1 is be sure that you check the passwords that your clients are sending you. Believe it or not, everybody does not know all their passwords, or they may think it was this password and it has just changed. Either they changed it, someone else changed it, who knows? So when you get those passwords, check them. As soon as you get the email, as soon as you see the email, check the passwords first. You don't have to do anything else on their project just yet, but make sure those passwords are right. Make that one of the first things you do for onboarding your client when they send you something is to check the passwords. For those of you who have been around, you've been doing this for a while, you can attest to the fact that you get passwords, and if you delay in checking them and you go back and they're wrong, it's like, oh, I should have checked them as soon as that email came through. So I don't want that to happen. You want to check them right away. Otherwise, if you wait until the moment that you're ready to work on their project to test the passwords and they're not right, now you've got a delay. Now the clock is ticking on your deadline and you got to wait for them to send you the updated password. So that's the first thing. Check all passwords when you receive an email. Number 2, and actually number 2 and 3 kind of go together, and I didn't know which one to say first. And again, they're not in any particular order. Be prepared to teach clients how you conduct business. Be prepared to teach clients how you conduct business. Okay. So if you have business hours, right? It's important that your business hours are posted on your website, business hours on your Facebook. Try to think of where business hours are, so that clients know. If a client asks you what your hours are, you have them. If you work on weekends, I would not tell a client that you work on weekends. Because while you may work on weekends, you may not want to communicate on weekends. You may not want to accept phone calls on weekends or answer emails on weekends. Give them the times that you are, answering email. I might work on a Saturday. I might work on something early in the morning. Maybe it's 6 o'clock in the morning and I just want to get it done real quick. And so I go in to do it, but that doesn't mean that those are my office hours, right? So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you're available to clients. So that is one of the ways, that we teach clients how we conduct business, right? How do you like to be communicated with? Do you like for your clients to call you? Do you like for them to send you a text? Do you want them to email you? And it could be a mix of different things. And I would suggest you have more than one way for them to contact you. That way, if they're not into email, but they are into texting, they have that option. Or if they're not into texting, they're into emailing, they have that option. So give them a couple of ways to contact you, right? When it comes to your phone, and this is where we go into the third thing to know when working with new clients, is setting boundaries. Okay, so this is where number 2 and 3 spill over. Number 3 is set good boundaries for your business. For your phone, do not use your personal phone. Okay, this is my personal phone. My personal phone is personal. So you want to have a separate number for your business, whether that's a Google Voice number, a sideline number. Sideline is an app that lets you have a second phone line on your phone. You want to have a business phone number, okay? Because everyone does not need easy access to you, right? This is your business, your personal phone. Everybody doesn't need easy access to you. And there's nothing worse than a client giving your phone number to someone else, and you have given your client your personal phone number. And now they give that number to someone else. Oh, give her a call. And it's your personal number. Ugh. I've had that happen because I just wasn't thinking, right? Or I was super green and didn't realize people will actually call it if I give them this number. And it's not really their fault, right? You gave them the number. They might think it's a business line. Except the one client I had that called me on a Sunday. This was years ago in my early days. Called me on a Sunday. I haven't forgotten about it. And I don't mean Sunday afternoon. And it didn't matter. It's still Sunday, right? Sunday evening on my cell phone. This was years ago, early years. Called me on my cell phone. And I'm like, why is my cell phone ringing on Sunday evening? It's a client. And I didn't know any better. They were like, what's your number? And I'm so quick. Oh, it's da-da-da-da. Give them my actual personal number. I guarantee you on that Monday, one of the first things that was on my to-do list is to get a business phone number and then email them and let them know my number changed. This is my new number, right? Because I didn't like the way it felt for a client to have my personal number. Now, you may be different. I don't know. My suggestion is you have a business line, because eventually, if you grow your business into more than just you, if you have another line, a Google Voice line or something else, then you're a team member could be charged with answering the phone or checking voicemail or responding to messages. But if it's on your personal line, it's all on you. And you got enough stuff going on, right? You got enough stuff going on. So let's talk about some other ways to set good boundaries. Whenever I do these lists, they all kind of go into each other. I've talked about office hours. That's a way to set boundaries. A business line is a way to set boundaries. How people communicate with you is a way to set boundaries. What you allow clients to talk to you about. So let's say you are having a call with a client and you are discussing their project, and maybe you've already discussed it, and the client is still talking and things kind of get personal, political, religious. If those topics make you uncomfortable, you don't want to talk to your client about that, especially in this climate. Set boundaries on that. That's not something I even discuss. I have no idea, that always works. I have no idea. And smile. You're not obligated to talk to your client about everything and anything beyond their business, because you guys are doing business together. You set the tone for how you conduct business. And you also don't want to get too comfortable with clients that they feel like they know you on a personal level, right? I can share with you that I am married. I've been married for 8 years, be 9 years in December. You could find that out from Facebook, right? It's not so private. But there are other things that may be private that are not discussed with a client, right? Maybe your children is a private matter. Maybe your marriage is even a private matter. I don't know. You know what the private things are. You're not obligated to talk to your client about those things. So don't feel like you have to because they're paying you for a service. It's not a part of it. And if a client cannot comply with your boundaries that you set for your business, guess what? They're not your client. They're not your type of client. Do you want to continue to work with someone that crosses the line often? For women, if you're working with male clients and they make you feel uncomfortable because of their comments or different things that are being said, do you continue to put up with that because they are paying you for your service? And vice versa. For men with female clients and they say something that's inappropriate, that crosses the line, are you comfortable continuing to do business with them and they have crossed the line? That's my timer. The whole point in this is to let you know that you no longer have to, what's the best word? Grin and bear situations, tolerate situations that you had to in your corporate life. When you work for a company, corporate company, you have to put up with a lot of things that you may not like, that in a perfect situation you speak out about. In your business, all that stuff, you don't have to do that anymore. You get to say yes or no. You get to call the shots. You get to draw the line in the sand on what those boundaries are. You get to say. Stand strong in making all the decisions for your business. And be sure you're setting the proper boundaries for yourself. You're not looking at the boundaries I've set for my business. You're not looking at your neighbor's boundaries and what they've done because you don't know their life and their situation. You set the boundaries for your business. You teach new clients how you conduct business. And be sure to check those passwords as soon as you get the email. All right. These are the 3 things to remember when working with new clients. Thank you so much for your time and for listening. You have a wonderful and fantastic day.